just the first one's like, who is Emma? Like a little bit of background about you, that kind of stuff.
Cool. Okay. Well, my name's Emma, and I studied music in Christchurch at Art Music Arts. I really loved studying there. It was a really, yeah, it's an awesome place, and I totally recommend people check it out if they're interested in studying music. I think it's a great place to be. I learned so much there. And during that time, I started gigging in Christchurch. So I was gigging a lot around the Christchurch sort of bar scene and playing at venues, which was really great for me. It helped me a lot with my confidence and yeah, definitely, yeah, it was an awesome experience. And from there, yeah, I started gigging first, and then I got into writing my own music. And I think I released my first song in 2021, and I've just been trying to release consistently since then, um, which was a wee bit hard when I was studying, but this year I'm really committed to putting out music as much as I can because it's really important to try and do it as much as you can, otherwise you can lose traction and all of that, which is it's a little bit a little bit tough. But in January I moved to Wellington. I have always wanted to live here. It's a very creative city, and there is just like you walk down the street and there'll be a music producer or there'll be, an actor. Like it's just so amazing, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I haven't been here for a long time, but I've managed to get a song recorded here and I put that out last week. So I'm just hoping to continue that cycle. But yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Yeah, so what kind of got you into music? Like why did you study it kind of thing? Yeah.
I really loved music throughout my life. I was very involved in school productions. I loved being involved in choirs. I just made the most of every opportunity at school. My family aren't super musical, but they love music and they're always really supportive of me. My grandma, she's a musician, so she plays classical piano and always she always well, she still does actually. She plays for rest homes and competitions. So it was, it was always something that my family appreciated. Um, so it was really a no-brainer for me to go and study music. To be honest, I don't think I would have been good at much else. Um, so I really loved my time studying. It was tough though. Studying music is not easy. I mean, I think I was a wee bit naive going into it, and I thought, well, I love singing, so it's going to be a breeze. But of course, to make it a degree, you've got to do a lot of theory and written work, which is all totally essential, but maybe not as fun as the actual performing part. But it made it through. But yeah, I just have always loved it really. So it was really a no-brainer for me to try and make it a full-time gig.
Hmm. Um, who do you get inspiration from, either personally but also in the music world?
Yeah, great question. Well, I have always really just looked up to Adele. I always mention her when I'm asked about inspiration because I think, to be honest, she's a really big reason why I write a lot of ballads, and I'd like to say my music is is like a little bit like hers. I know it's not as amazing, but you can't compete with Adele. I love her. And throughout my life, I listened to a lot of Fleetwood Mac. My dad and my mum love them. So I think just those little influences throughout your life, they do, yeah, I think they affect the music that you write and like to perform. So I really like a wide range. I appreciate all music. I love musical theatre. I really appreciate classical music. I think like if you really are serious about music, it's important to recognize and also, yeah, just like listen to a lot of music and gain inspiration from that and appreciation. But also, yeah, I guess a big reason why I moved here, people are inspiring, you know, people you work with and play with. And I think surrounding yourself with talented people, it's hard to not be inspired by them. So, yeah, I've already met some great music people up here, which has, yeah, been really awesome for me and my development.
So, being a musician in New Zealand, a small country, and it's kind of harder to blow up, yeah, I, I guess talk about that kind of, you know,
Yeah, totally. Absolutely. It's incredibly hard. And I was actually I was just watching a TikTok and it was the person that was posting was just saying it's like every time you release a song or you post a TikTok, it's like buying a lottery ticket because it's really hard. And I think you it's important to really remind yourself why you do this. And that's why I think if I was focused all the time about blowing up, I wouldn't be able to do it. Like you've got to remind yourself that like you're doing it because you love music and you love creating music. It is hard because we are so exposed to social media and what everyone else is doing. And there's no denying that there are so many, like hundreds, thousands of incredible young people who are just doing the same thing, really trying to make it in the music industry. And it's really just luck. So, yeah, you've just got to love it and like always have those goals of making it big time, but also, just being able to enjoy the process. And if it happens, it happens. But I really love what I do. So I always hope that maybe one day my music will reach a lot of people. But for the most part, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the process. But it is hard. And there is some really great opportunities for musicians in New Zealand. Getting them is a wee bit tricky, but I think once you are recognised by New Zealand On Air and you do get funding, which is a big goal for me, that's when things can get really exciting and you can start dreaming big and doing bigger projects. So fingers crossed, hopefully maybe this year or next year, I might be able to get some funding.
yeah. Do you think, like radio here in New Zealand should maybe kind of do a little bit more trying to get New Zealand artists, especially the, least bigger ones?
Yeah, well, getting on radio is a massive deal for people like me. I have been really lucky. I've been supported by local radio stations. So one I really just love with all my heart, Compass FM. So they're out in North Canterbury. You should get in touch with them. They're really, really cool people. They gave me my first little on-air interview, and I've just been supported by them consistently. So, like even last week, they played my new song on the radio. I think I love local radio so much. They're incredibly supportive. I think the big radio stations, yeah, they're naturally harder to get on, and they do support small artists, but there's a process. You've got to get on new tracks, which is like a New Zealand on air thing, which is hard to get on. But once you're on there, then I think that support comes in. So I'm yet to have that support, but it's a massive goal. So yeah, look, I think they're doing their best. It would be cool if maybe we did get a little bit more support, but obviously it's a business and they've got to play what people know so people come back and listen to their radio station. If they were just playing all of my music and no Sabrina Carpenter, people wouldn't listen, and that's okay. I understand, you know?
Yeah. Um, yeah, so you've kind of touched on goals. Do you have maybe one goal that you hope to achieve, in the next 12 months?
Yeah. Um, I definitely I have a lot of goals and yeah, it's sometimes when you like I've written them all down and it looks like I could never get there. Sometimes I feel that way, but I try to break them down into little tiny steps. And for me, like it's important to just like stop and actually look at what I've done. I was feeling a little bit sad the other day about my song because I felt like it wasn't getting much traction. But I hit 4,000 streams in a week, which I've never done before. For me, that's really massive, and it's just so important that I like sit there and actually like feel proud of that. But for the most part, I just want to get as much music out as I can. I'd love to get 4 songs out this year if I can, depending on budget, but that's my goal. And I'd really love to start planning some original shows as well. That's a goal for me. So music and planning a little tour, or a show in Wellington. That's my two main goals.
Yeah. Do you have like a dream, like, dream goal, like, it could be way in the future, could be, next week, but like a, you know,
Yes, absolutely. For me, I would just really love to be recognized in New Zealand. That's big for me. I'd love to win one of those New Zealand music awards. That would be huge. As much as I'd love to make it worldwide, I and you never know. I like to be realistic, and for me, I think if I could just make it to that award show, I think that would be a massive I've made it moment.
yeah. About your first single, um, it's titled Better Days. You said this song is important. Did you kind of just want to speak about the song and, all that?
Yeah, yeah. So Better Days is the first single I've released this year. I I last year in I think it was November, I had the melody of the chorus stuck in my head. And so I quickly recorded that melody on my voice memos, and then I parked it and I revisited the song in January. Um, and I wrote it when I was going through a lot of change when I just moved up here, and I was feeling a little bit sad. I was missing my family and I didn't really know anyone here yet. So I think in the song, it really reflects how I was feeling. I was feeling, a wee bit down, but just reminding myself that I moved here for a reason and better days are ahead. Like I knew it was the right move for me and a really exciting time, but your brain plays tricks on you and it tells you change is bad. So it was a song, I wrote it for me, and it was definitely a reflection on how I was feeling at the time, and just a reminder that, things are gonna get better. And yeah, I really hope when people listen to it that they're reminded of that and it can bring hope to people. That was my goal for that one.
Yeah. Um, yeah, so have you kind of got any more music in the works, anything like you can kind of tease that gonna happen, I guess?
Yeah, well, yes, definitely. I have actually just finished a song, which is really, really cool. So I'm just in the stages of making a demo and sending that away. So getting that process started again. And I actually just when I got back today from dropping my parents at the airport, actually, I just had another idea and I've recorded that, so that's good. I definitely went through a period of not feeling very inspired, and I was getting, yeah, a bit annoyed at myself because I just want to, like, get it moving, but I'm feeling positive and feel like I've got lots of ideas, which is a really good space to be in. So after this, I'll be straight back and on the piano, hopefully writing the next couple of songs.
How long did it take from, starting to write it to kind of getting it up? How long? Probably varies, but like,
Yeah, yeah. Well, once the song can, like for Better Days, I started it last year, and then yeah, so it took about 5 months to to bring the whole thing together. But once I've finished the song, getting in the studio, and then it's about maybe 2 months it takes. Yeah, so it does take a bit of time. But yeah, it's all part of it.
Yeah, you did a music video last year for one of your songs. Um, like how was that? How cool was that to, do a music video? Yeah.
Oh, I love music videos. It's probably one of my favorite parts of all of this. That one was especially, yeah, that one was special because that was for Indigo. I had two dancers, and I've always wanted to have dancers in a music video, and I actually went to school with one of them, Harlow. So he was uh um couple years younger than me, pretty small when I was year 13. And it was just so amazing to have them be a part of my music. You know, they've supported me throughout my whole journey. So yeah, they were really excited to be involved as well. So it was a really special experience. And we got to use a smoke machine, which was like, oh, it was so much fun.
Yeah, and I guess just the last thing that I have is just where can people check you out, see that stuff.
Cool, yeah. Oh, thank you for the shout out and for the awesome interview. If people want to follow me and keep up with my music and my new song that may be coming out soon, I'm Emma Rutherford Music on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, everything. YouTube, you can look at my music videos if you want to. Emma Rutherford. That would be a great place to start. But if you want to listen to my music, Emma Rutherford on all streaming platforms.